Guitar tips, just the tips, just for you. Guitar tips. Hello, this is Adam Levy, and today is Friday. At least I'm posting this on Friday. You might be watching it on some other day. But Friday is Guitar Tips Day here on my Guitar Tips channel here on YouTube. You might notice this is not a guitar. It's a mandolin, and I got this a few months ago, and then it just sat, I was going to say it sat gathering dust for a few months, but it was in a case, so it didn't even get to gather dust. It just sat in the case with a little packet of silicone gel to keep it, dry, and, tags. Basically as new for a couple of months. And I finally realized it was time to dust off the case, and then open the case, and then take the mandolin out and start playing it a little bit every day. And as you may have noticed in the beginning of this video, I am not very good. It's humbling for me. I've been playing guitar for, 37 years or something like that. And I've been playing mandolin for 37 days. So I can't do a whole lot with it, but that's actually what this week's guitar tip is about. This week's guitar tip is expand your skill set. Yeah. Also floss. Anyway, I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I'm a teacher. I teach privately, I teach online, and I also am the chair of the guitar department at the Los Angeles College of Music in Pasadena. And I think about, what are the skills that a young guitar player should have in order to go out into the world and make a living playing the guitar, which is a pretty crazy notion if you really sit and think about it, to make a living playing the guitar. There's an old joke that a young kid says to his mom, "Hey mom, I want to be a guitar player when I grow up." And his mom says, "Well, son, you can't do both." But anyway, it is possible to make a living playing the guitar. I do it. Many people do it. It's not easy, but it's rewarding. But when I think about the skills that it takes now, I think now more than ever, the two things that I think are really important aren't even guitar skills per se. So I'm going to say what they are. And it relates to this week's tip, which is, again, expand your skill set. Or grow your skill set? No, I think expand your skill set. Grow is nice too. Whatever, I don't care. Just do grow. That's the point. So one way to expand your skill set is to pick up another instrument that's not the guitar. So the mandolin is not a guitar. A dobro is not a guitar. Now, just a side note, people confuse all resonator guitars as a dobro. That's not true. A resonator guitar is typically a metal guitar body, sometimes wood, but usually metal. And there's a resonator mechanism built into it, which is, it's a long story, but basically the bridge, where the strings rest on the bridge, this is your bridge on any kind of stringed instrument. And then the bridge beneath the top of the instrument is coupled with some kind of resonator, basically a pie tin or something like that. And that's floating, and then it amplifies the sound. So that's a resonator guitar. Resonator is just not a brand name, but it's a descriptor of a kind of instrument, which is different from this or guitar or violin, where basically the volume comes from the top vibrating and from some sound coming out through these holes, which are called F holes. Anyway, Dobro is specifically, first of all, it's a brand name, which a lot of people don't seem to realize. And it's also played lap style. So it's a resonator instrument, usually, well, pretty much always a resonator instrument. And it's played in a particular tuning, GBD, GBD. And it's played with a bar, which I don't have handy, but, you know, something like this. This is just a slide for playing bottleneck style. But so you play like this. Anyway, point being, if you got your dobro chops together, that would be quite different from just, say, playing the guitar. And then these are just stringed instruments. You certainly could work on your drumming. You could work on playing the trumpet. You could sing. You could play the piano, whatever. The point is, if you're going out to audition for a gig in somebody's band, they often are looking for one person who can do multiple things. And even if they aren't looking for one person who can do multiple things, think of how valuable, how much more valuable you will be than the other guy or gal who's auditioning if you can not only play all the guitar parts, but sing, play piano, play mandolin, play whatever. It just adds to your value as a musician in the marketplace, and it also adds to your value internally because you now have all kinds of other creative outlets for your own music. So that's one skill set, play another instrument. But the other skill set that I would really encourage for young musicians, any musician, but I say this for young musicians because they have more time. Learn home recording. It's not rocket science. It's really not. It costs a little bit of money to get set up. You have to buy some microphones. I'm talking about recording into your laptop using programs like Logic or Pro Tools, or some people use Ableton. There's lots of other programs, but the common ones are Logic and Pro Tools. Pick one. Everyone will tell you this is the best one or that's the best one. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It does matter, but what I'm saying is get started. Don't let the differences between the two stop you. At this point, it doesn't matter. Just pick one and start doing it. Start recording things. You'll have to buy, a microphone. Just get a good, cheap microphone, like a Shure SM57, which is good for instruments, or a Shure SM58, which is good for voices. That's not too much. Then you need an interface, something to get the microphone so it can plug into your computer. You might notice that your computer doesn't have, at least most laptops don't have a microphone jack. So you need an interface. The two common ones that everybody seems to be using these days are the Apollo Twin and the Apogee Duet. But there's other ones, and I really don't think it matters that much. The point is get started. Learn home recording. Why? Because that's just the way things are going these days. If you want to do recording sessions as a guitar player, people will more and more ask you to do them remotely. That's great. You don't have to load crap in and out of your car. You don't have to sit in traffic. You can do the whole thing in your pajamas in your bedroom. Or you can put on a tuxedo. It really doesn't matter. Point is, this is part of the music economy these days, is being able to overdub and record and do things at home and to provide professional quality audio from your laptop. This would also be a great benefit to you as a creative person if you want to make your own records. I made a record last year where I recorded and mixed everything at home on my laptop. It was super hard. I learned a lot, and I'm sure the next one will sound better, and then the next one will sound better. Will I ever be an award-winning audio engineer? No, I will not. But that's not the point. The point is, if somebody says, can you put a guitar solo or a mandolin track on my song, you say, yes, of course, easily done. When do you need it? And you do the work. And, you can get into much more fine detail with that. I recently met a guy who told me that he really prides himself on his editing. So, the way I play is very old school. I just play until I get a good take, and if I have to punch in or something, I will. But I'm really going for a live performance as much as I can. But that's not everyone's aesthetic. Some people want to have a perfectly manicured track so that everything lines up on the grid, and the beginning and end, those are called the tails. Everything is trimmed and manicured and perfect and just ready to go. That's up to you. But just my point is, get started. All the stuff that you could do in engineering doesn't matter right now. Just learn how to stop and start, and how to put a mic on an instrument, how to put a mic on your amp. You can't see, but my amp is right here. Don't get bogged down. Just get started. So this has already been a very, very, very long guitar tip. I try and keep these under 5 minutes. This one is already well over 10. So I'll stop here, but expand your skill set. It adds value to you in the freelance marketplace, and it adds inner value because you can do more and express yourself creatively in some new ways. Whether you pick up the mandolin or learn how to record or do something else, expand your skill set. Expand your skill set. Thanks a lot. My name is Adam Levy. This is Guitar Tips. I'll see you next Friday. Stay tuned and take good care.